All right, the next question comes from a lifter who has had some elbow issues and had to take about 4 weeks off of pressing. Now he's ready to reintroduce into pressing, and he's referenced some of the reintroduction videos that I mention from time to time. And a question around that says they seem to be all oriented around lower body injuries, and thus applicable to squats or deadlifts where we maybe have a 2 or 3x frequency for those lifts. We bench every day with up to 2 assistance slots going to pressing. I'm wondering if I should stick to 2 sets of 10 at 15% for my priority 1 and 2, and then if they're pain-free, progress to add 15% for my priority 3 and 4. Or do you recommend sticking with the progression for a full training week with each lift individually? It depends. So just kind of my blanket starting point answer is that it depends on how quickly your injury is progressing in its healing process. I would not recommend that fast of a progression for you because you had to take 4 weeks off to get it to go away. So I think ramping it up that quickly may be a little bit counterproductive. I, at the same time, realize that taking a full month to ramp back up into normal training is a big ask in a lot of cases. So maybe meet somewhere in the middle. Instead of taking only 2 weeks to reintroduce, maybe you take 3 weeks and you stretch it a bit. So what that would be, you'll have to double check my math on this because I'm just totally doing it off the top of my head. But that would be maybe 3 sessions at a given load before you progress the load to the next increment. That would get you back to normal training in 3 weeks as opposed to 4. And that may be a little bit more palatable for you. But generally, you want to look at how long did the injury take to recover and use that as a barometer for how long it will take you to do the reintroduction protocol. If you only had to take 2 weeks off, then I would say, a 2-week reintroduction or even push into a 1-week reintroduction is probably fine. 3 weeks off, 4 weeks off, that's a bit longer in terms of time frame. And by giving us a bit more time to reintroduce, that allows additional time for healing for anything that may not be quite 100% yet. And it also gives you time to notice if things are still not quite right. So maybe, you get into the middle of your 3rd or 4th progression and you notice that, hey, I still have a little bit of elbow pain. That gives you a chance to notice it and take some sort of corrective action on it before getting back into a full-blown training cycle, before, really diverting your focus back to lifting heavy weights. And it should allow you to address those problems before they become big problems.